If you love card magic, you're in for a real treat. Card tricks have always been the heart of close-up magic, simple in appearance, yet filled with mystery and wonder. In this compilation, we'll be revealing the secrets behind some of the most famous and mind-blowing card tricks ever performed. From impossible predictions to shocking transformations, each reveal will give you a peek into the clever methods magicians use to amaze audiences worldwide. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of card magic like never before. For this magic act, Daniel first invites a volunteer from the audience onto the stage, and his name is Manuel. Daniel takes out a thumb cuff from his pocket, which is like a handcuff but for the thumbs. He puts this thumb cuff on Manuel and asks him to try to take his thumbs out without using any keys. He demonstrates to the audience that it is impossible to do so without opening the thumb cuff. Afterwards, Daniel invites the show's host, Allison, onto the stage. The magician then pulls out a deck of cards from his jacket pocket, and while shuffling it from his left hand to his right hand, asks Allison to say stop at any time. Allison says stop, and wherever she stops, Daniel hands her the card and tells her to show it to everyone. The card turns out to be the Six of Hearts. Without looking at the card, Daniel instructs Allison to place it back into the deck. Following that, Daniel places the deck back into its box and hands it to Allison. Then, he takes the thumb cuff from Manuel and tightly secures it around his own thumbs, instructing Manuel to do so. After that, Daniel closes the playing card box that is still in Allison's hands from the front. Now, the real magic begins. Daniel asks Manuel to cover his hands with a handkerchief. As soon as Manuel covers Daniel's hands with the handkerchief, Daniel manages to extend one hand outside, asking Manuel to lift the deck from Allison's hands. However, he then instructs Manuel to stop and places his hand back under the handkerchief. But wait a moment. Daniel had the thumb cuff on his thumbs, so how did his hand come out? To witness this, Daniel invites Manuel to remove the handkerchief and check. When Manuel removes the handkerchief from Daniel's hands, the thumb cuff is still securely in place on Daniel's thumbs, just as it was before. After that, Daniel once again asks Manuel to cover his hands with the handkerchief. He even extends one hand to help Manuel in placing the handkerchief. But hold on for a moment. We just checked, and Daniel had the thumb cuff on his thumbs. So how did his hand come out again? Not only that, this time, Daniel makes it clear that nobody should think he opened the cuff with keys. To prove it, he puts his left hand into his jacket pocket, takes out a key, and hands it to Manuel. Everyone is left astonished by this unexpected turn of events. So, how is Daniel able to free both of his hands despite having them securely bound? The magic doesn't end here. Now, Daniel claims that he, in the blink of an eye, can know the card Allison chose at the beginning. He places his hands over Allison's hands, and as he says, blinks his eyes. After this, Allison is asked to open the box placed on her hands. When Allison opens the box, instead of cards, there is a thumb cuff inside. Right after this revelation, Manuel removes the handkerchief from Daniel's hands. And what's this? Daniel's thumbs are revealed to be holding a card instead of thumb cuffs. When Daniel unveils this card, everyone is astonished because it's the same card Allison chose at the beginning, the Six of Hearts. But how? How is Daniel able to freely move his hands despite having thumb cuffs on? How does a deck of cards turn into thumb cuffs? And how does the chosen card magically appear in place of the thumb cuffs? Let's uncover the secret behind this magic. In this magic act, Daniel invites a volunteer, Manuel, from the audience to the stage and hands him a thumb cuff to inspect. However, it's actually a real thumb cuff with no secret modifications. Now, Manuel puts the thumb cuff on Daniel as per his instructions and then covers it with a handkerchief from the top. However, Daniel somehow manages to sneak one hand or the other out from under the handkerchief at different times. The thumb cuff is real, but there's a simple trick to effortlessly freeing oneself from it. Actually, here you can see that Daniel has already placed one side of the thumb cuff on one of his thumbs without having it checked by Manuel. He has deliberately loosely attached the thumb cuff on this side, allowing him to free his thumb whenever he wants. The question now arises about the thumb that Manuel has tightly cuffed with his own hands. If you look closely, Daniel has tightly pressed this thumb from the front by folding it. This action makes the middle of the thumb a bit wider, to which Manuel attaches the thumb cuff securely. And when Daniel later straightens his thumb under the handkerchief, there is enough space created in the thumb cuff for the thumb to be taken out. This way, Daniel repeatedly amazes everyone by taking his thumb out of the thumb cuff. Now, let's move on to the next part where, instead of the thumb cuff, a 6 of Hearts card chosen by Allison appears. It starts here when Daniel, while having Allison choose a card, asks her to stop at any point. In reality, Daniel uses the force selection technique here and guides Allison to choose the card he wants her to choose. If we observe the cards falling in slow motion, initially, some cards are falling one by one at the same speed. However, as soon as Allison says stop, some cards fall together in bulk. Also, if you pay close attention, the cards that were falling one by one initially fall straight, but when Allison says stop, some cards fall in bulk, and the back part of those cards comes down first, as if all the cards were released together from the back. If you don't understand, simply put, Daniel already has the card he wants to choose held under his thumb at that position. Initially, he releases the cards normally, and as soon as Allison says stop, Daniel lets go of all the cards below his thumb. So, the card Allison picks from there seems like her choice. But it's actually the same card that the magician wanted to choose. Allison shows this card to everyone except the magician, and then puts it back into the deck. Afterwards, Daniel places these cards inside the cover, putting the box in Allison's hands. But just before that, if we observe closely, Daniel cleverly acts like he's taking Manuel's thumb cuff, and during this, his hand with the deck goes backwards. With a sly move, Daniel switches the card box with another one in his jacket pocket. And now he places it in Allison's hand. From here, the box looks like a regular one with cards inside. However, in reality, there are no cards in the box, but a thumb cuff is placed, and the visible flap on top creates the illusion of cards. It's simply a flap, and its outer part is sticky. Now, Daniel seals the box in a way that utilizes this sticky part. When Daniel closes the box, this sticky flap sticks to this part, and when Allison opens the box at the end, it completely unfolds, revealing the hidden thumb cuff inside. It gives the impression that the cards inside the box have magically transformed into a thumb cuff. But the question remains, how does the magician switch the thumb cuff with the card in the thumb, and that too, the same card that Allison chose? In reality, as you now know, Daniel already knew that Allison would choose the 6 of Hearts card, so he had another 6 of Hearts card with 2 holes in it kept in his jacket pocket beforehand. When Daniel, during the act, pretends to take out keys and puts his left hand into his jacket pocket, he doesn't just grab keys. He also takes out the other 6 of Hearts card and holds it in his hand. If you observe Daniel handing over the keys to Manuel after taking them out, it's quite noticeable that he's holding something else along with the keys. Here, in front, Daniel has the keys, and at the back, he's holding the 6 of Hearts card from his jacket pocket, the one with 2 holes in it. Also, when he puts his hand into his jacket pocket to take out the keys, you can see that his fist is closed. Daniel takes the thumb cuff attached to his thumb and puts it into his pocket. Later, he retrieves the 6 of Hearts card from his pocket and wears it on his thumbs in place of the thumb cuff. And that's how Daniel amazes everyone with his incredible magic act. In the beginning of the act, Anna shows everyone a box containing a special cake, which we'll learn more about later. All 4 judges of the show are present on stage: Simon, Sophia, Heidi, and Howie. Anna holds a deck of cards and demonstrates to everyone that it's a normal deck with all the cards shuffled randomly. Now, Anna asks Simon to pick a card from the deck. Then she asks Sophia to pick a card as well, followed by Heidi and Howie, each picking a card too. After this, Anna spreads out the remaining cards on the table. Now, except for Howie, Anna instructs the other 3 judges to memorize their chosen cards and place them back into the deck on the table. Howie is asked to sign his chosen card. Afterwards, Howie shows his card to everyone and then places it back into the deck as well. This way, the cards chosen by all 4 judges are mixed into the deck. But what happens next leaves everyone astonished. Anna pulls out a card from the deck and asks Simon about his chosen card. Simon says 3 of diamonds. And when Anna reveals the card in her hand, it is the 3 of diamonds card. Then Anna pulls out the next card from the deck and asks Sophia to say her chosen card, which was the ace of clubs. And when Anna reveals this card, it turns out to be the ace of clubs. Next, Anna pulls out a card from her mouth and asks Heidi to open it. Before that, Heidi is asked about her chosen card, which was the Queen of Hearts. And when Heidi opens the card, it turns out to be the Queen of Hearts card. Now, it's Howie's turn. But when Anna spreads the deck she had in her hand onto the table, all the cards are blank. Anna asks Howie about his chosen card, which, as you've seen, was the 7 of spades.
It was the 7 clubs, right? 7 of spades. 7 of spades.
Then Anna brings out the cake she had shown earlier. The special thing about this cake is that it had love written on it, and when Anna turns it around, it becomes 3, AQ, 7. The 3 represents Simon's card, A represents Sophia's card, Q represents Heidi's card, and 7 represents Howie's card. But that's not all. Anna then pulls out a card from inside the cake, astonishing everyone because it's Howie's signed 7 of spades card. But how? How did the card end up inside the cake? And how was the prediction already written on the cake? And how did Anna manage to pull out the chosen cards of the judges from a mixed deck without knowing them? Now, we'll uncover the secret behind this astonishing magic. At the beginning of this act, Anna shows everyone the cake and then the card deck. Here, the cake appears normal, but the card deck is anything but normal. If you observe closely, from this side, Anna only shows a few top cards of this deck to everyone, while keeping the bottom cards hidden. In reality, this deck is structured in a specific way. At the bottom are some random cards, above which is a set of only 7 of spades cards. Above that set is another set consisting solely of Queen of Hearts cards. Some Ace of Clubs cards are above the Queen of Hearts set, and at the very top, there's a set of only 3 of diamonds cards. Initially, if you notice, Anna spreads out these random bottom cards and convinces everyone that it's a normal deck. Then, Anna flips the deck and spreads the cards from the top, asking each person to pick 1 card at a time. First, Anna spreads this top set and asks Simon to pick a card. And as you know, all the cards here are 3 of diamonds. So, no matter which card Simon picks from this set, it will always be the 3 of diamonds. Similarly, Anna cleverly spreads this second set in front of Judge Sophia, and as you now know, all the cards here are Ace of Clubs. This way, Anna gets Sophia to pick the Ace of Clubs card. Next is Judge Heidi's turn, in front of whom Anna spreads this third set of the deck. And now, as you know, this set only contains Queen of Hearts cards. So, Heidi thinks she's picking a random card, but Anna already knows that the card she's picking is the Queen of Hearts. Finally, in front of Howie, Anna spreads this last set, which contains only 7 of spades cards. And this way, Anna manages to get all the judges to pick exactly the cards she wants them to. After this, Anna spreads out the remaining cards face down on the table and asks everyone, except Howie, to place their cards back into the spread. Anna then instructs Howie to sign his chosen card. However, if you pay attention, when Howie is signing his card, Anna discreetly takes hold of the spreaded cards on the table and turns away, standing like this. This is when actually Anna does her next move, where she switches the deck she's holding with another deck. You can clearly notice Anna doing this here. Now, the deck Anna holds in her hand is structured in a specific way. If you look at it from this side, at the bottom is the 3 of diamonds card, followed by a Queen of Clubs card, then an Ace of Clubs card, followed by a Queen of Hearts card, and the remaining cards are all blank cards. Anna first asks Howie to place his signed card into this deck. Then, Anna turns the face of the card towards her and asks Simon about his card, which happens to be the 3 of diamonds. Anna astounds everyone by revealing the 3 of diamonds card present here. After this, she picks up the Queen of Spades card from her hand and then asks Sophia for her card, which happens to be the Ace of Clubs. Meanwhile, if you observe closely, Anna places the Queen of Clubs back onto the top of the deck in her hand, and this time she performs a double lift to pick up these 2 cards in her hand. So now, she has these two cards in her hand. Behind the Queen of Clubs card is the Ace of Clubs card. Here, Anna uses the shake change technique to flip the cards and astounds everyone by revealing the Ace of Clubs card. Now, Anna retrieves these two cards back from the deck into her hand, and then she folds the Queen of Hearts card and places it into her mouth. After this, Anna shows the Queen of Clubs card to Heidi, which obviously isn't her card. So Anna tosses it away and then asks Heidi to open this folded card, which you now know is the Queen of Hearts card. Before this, if you observe closely, when Anna pretends to search for Heidi's card, she's actually sneakily searching for Howie's card in the deck and cleverly brings it to the top. And when Heidi was opening her card, Anna discreetly keeps Howie's signed card in her pocket. This way, only blank cards remain in the deck, which Anna spreads out on the table, leaving everyone astonished. Now you know that Howie's signed card is with Anna. Finally, Anna brings out the cake for her last reveal. Actually, there's a slit made at the bottom of the cake. When Anna is presenting the cake, she cleverly inserts Howie's signed card from her possession into the cake through this slit at the bottom. This way, at the end, she reveals Howie's signed card from inside the cake, leaving everyone amazed. In this act, Shin first sits at a poker table with 3 other people. He takes out a deck of cards and hands it to Bajabi Amila, asking him to shuffle it thoroughly. After the cards are shuffled, Shin takes back the deck and shows it to Bajabi Amila, prompting him to say stop when he wants Shin to stop.
I'm gonna riffle down the deck like this.
Okay.
You just say stop anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Stop.
Bajabi Amila, after saying stop, is asked by Shin to memorize and remember the selected card.
Remember the card.
Okay.
Don't forget it.
All right.
Then, without looking at the card, Shin hands the cards back to Bajab to shuffle them thoroughly. After the shuffle, Shin takes the cards back and splits them into 4 equal parts on the table, face down. Shin then instructs Bajabi Amila to distribute each pile to everyone. After that, Shin instructs everyone to place the top card from the cards they are holding onto the table. Then, he asks them to shuffle the remaining cards and once again place a card from the top onto the table. After all the cards are placed on the table like this, Shin asks them to pick up the cards again and then instructs them to throw cards from the top onto the table one by one. After throwing 4 or 5 cards onto the table, Shin tells everyone to count the remaining cards in their hands by placing them on the table one by one.
Okay.
I was counting with 1, 2, 3, count.
I've got 2.
All right,
I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Was I supposed to have kept more, Shen?
That's okay. No, you can
I
throw
have
as many.
6.
All right, don't touch your cards anymore.
Now comes the final reveal that leaves everyone astonished after hearing and seeing it. Now, Shin asks Bajabi Amila to tell everyone the card he selected at the beginning. The card turns out to be the Jack of Clubs.
What was your card? Because they don't know what it is.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can say it.
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs.
Yeah.
Shin then asks Bajab to show everyone the top card from his pile, and to everyone's surprise, it's the Jack of Clubs, leaving everyone amazed. But the magic doesn't end there. Shin reveals the top card from his own stack, and it's also the Jack card. Not only that, but Shin also asks the other 2 guests to reveal the top cards from their stacks, and astonishingly, they are also Jack cards. But how? How, after so much shuffling, does the top card end up being the one Bajabi Amila selected? How were all the top cards Jack cards? And if Shin Lim has used some trick in this, how did he know that Bajabi Amila selected the Jack card? Now, we are about to uncover the secret behind this amazing trick. But before that, if you enjoyed Shin Lim's incredible magic, be sure to like the video. Now let's find out the secret behind this magic. In this act, Shin Lim first asks Bajabi Amila to choose a card. Here, Shin shows that he is not looking at the selected card, and he has no idea which card Bajabi Amila stopped at. However, in reality, Shin knows which card it is. This is possible through the Pinky Break Peek technique. After getting the spectator to choose a card, when the magician closes the deck, his pinky finger is actually between the selected card, allowing him to secretly know which card was chosen. Here, the onlookers perceive that the deck has been closed, but the magician cleverly turns the card to secretly see the chosen card where the spectator indicated to stop. If you observe closely, after Shin Lim has the card selected, when he hands the deck to Bajabi Amila, he slyly uses this method to catch a glimpse of the chosen card. So now Shin Liam knows that Bajabi Amila has selected the Jack of Clubs. After that, Shin creates 4 piles of cards, and the entire game revolves around these piles. In reality, Shin arranges these piles in a way that the top card of each pile is a Jack card. Now, while acting as if Bajab is choosing a pile, Shin distributes the piles, and the pile containing the Jack of Clubs card ends up with Bajabi Amila. Now you know, here everyone holding cards in which the top card is a Jack card. After that, Shin instructs everyone to place the top card on the table. Then, after shuffling all the cards, he asks them to place the top card on the table again, and this continues until all the cards are on the table. By doing this, all the Jack cards are now at the bottom of this pile. And now, when everyone picks up their previously placed cards, you know that the bottom card is the Jack card, and Shin is well aware of this too. That's why Shin instructs everyone to throw the cards onto the table one by one from the top. It doesn't matter how many cards go on the table from the top, the Jack card is already at the bottom. After throwing a few cards on the table, Shin asks everyone to count the remaining cards in their hands by placing them on the table one by one, and by doing this, the Jack card, originally at the bottom, now ends up on top of all the cards. Without arousing any suspicion, Shin plays out the entire game, and now what he wants has happened. The top card of all these piles is now the Jack cards. Now, Shin asks Bajabi Amila because 60% of the cards have been randomly placed in the center of the table, and only a few cards are with each person. What are the chances of his Jack of Clubs card being there?
Even though all of that happened, that Jack of Clubs is in your pile.
In my pile?
Yeah.
Never.
What would you say, that's a 20% chance?
0.
But after this, Shin reveals that not only does Bajab have the Jack of Clubs card, but it is also placed at the very top of his pile. When Bajabi Amila looks at the top card, he can't believe it. After that, Shin asks everyone else to look at the top card of their piles, and guess what? It's the Jack card for each one of them. And now you also know how this was done. In this act, Chris invites both judges, Penn and Teller, onto the stage. Chris first hands Teller a bag and Penn a deck of cards. Now, Chris asks Teller to choose any number between 1 and 4. Teller chooses the number 3. Similarly, Chris asks Penn to choose any number between 1 and 4. Penn chooses the number 2. Now, Chris asks Penn how he would like to arrange these two numbers, 23 or 32. Penn chooses 23.
23 or 32?
23.
All of these choices are free choices, but what happens next leaves everyone astonished. Now, Chris asks Penn to count out 23 cards from the deck given to him and place them face up, and then to place the 24th card to the side. Then, Chris asks Teller to open the bag given to him at the beginning. Inside, there is a shoe, and inside it, there is a 7 of Hearts card. Now, Chris asks Penn to see the card he placed to the side. Remarkably, it is also the 7 of Hearts card. After this, Chris sets up another act where he places 4 king cards of different suits on the table. Chris mentions that he has 4 queen cards left in his hand, which could be anywhere in the deck. Then Chris starts a countdown from 10 and asks Penn to say stop wherever he likes. Penn stops at a number, and Chris counts out that many cards and places the top card on top of the king.
It could be at 10. Just say stop. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Stop.
4. You think the queen is at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chris repeats this, and this time, Penn stops at 9. Chris counts out that many cards and places the 9th card on top of the king again. Now, Chris asks Teller to say stop and begins a countdown from 10. Teller stops at 9, and Chris counts out that many cards, placing the 9th card on top of the king. One last time, Chris starts the countdown, and this time Teller stops at 2. Chris counts out that many cards and places the 2nd card on top of the last king. After this, Chris is left with 4 cards in his hand. Chris mentions that he had no idea which card was where, and that Penn and Teller chose their stops randomly. Now, Chris reveals all the top cards, and astonishingly, they are all aces.
This ace. And how you explain this ace?
But that's not all. Chris reveals all the cards placed on top of the king cards, and remarkably, they are all queen cards. Moreover, Chris reveals the 4 remaining cards in his hand, which have Master of the Minds written on them. Not only that, but Chris also reveals the remaining unrevealed cards, and to everyone's surprise, they are all completely blank. But how? How does the card placed in the bag match the card placed in the deck at the exact number randomly chosen by Penn and Teller? How do random cards turn out to be queen and ace without any sleight of hand? And how are all the remaining cards blank? The amazing thing is, you too can perform this magic without any skill, and we will tell you how. This magic is amazing to see. Also, it is very simple to do because it is a self-working magic trick, and that's why we told you that you can do it effortlessly without any skill. In the first act, Chris gives Teller a bag containing a pre-placed 7 of Hearts card. Now, let's see how the deck Chris gave to Penn contains the 7 of Hearts card at the exact chosen number. Chris asks Penn and Teller to choose any number between 1 and 4. Teller chooses 3 and Penn chooses 2, combining these 2 digits to choose 23. Now, let's talk about the arrangement of this deck, which is the main thing in this act. Actually, this deck is arranged in the following way. It contains 52 cards plus 2 jokers and 1 extra 7 of Hearts card, totaling 55 cards. At the top are the 2 jokers, as you can also see when Penn is placing the cards below. Then there are some random cards, and at the 24th position, there is a 7 of Hearts card. After that, there are more random cards, and at the 44th position, there is another 7 of Hearts card placed. You just need to set up this much, and now you're ready to perform this trick. In this case, Penn combined both digits to choose 23. So if you count from here, after placing 23 cards down, the 24th card will indeed be the 7 of Hearts. If Penn had chosen 32 instead of 23, Chris would have instructed Penn to count from here, and 32nd card would be the 7 of Hearts. Similarly, between the choices of 1 and 4, there are a total of 16 scenarios. For each combination, the magician needs to take appropriate actions, as shown here. Chris would have followed the next step according to the chosen combination. For example, if the selection is 43, after counting 43 cards from this side, the next card would be the 7 of Hearts. Similarly, if the chosen combination is 11, counting from the bottom of the deck and after placing 11 cards down, the next card would be the 7 of Hearts. In this way, by simply remembering the actions according to these combinations, you can effortlessly perform this trick. Now let's move on to Chris Capehart's next act, where he first places all 4 kings on the table. Then, by getting Penn and Teller to choose cards, he reveals something astonishing in the end. This, too, is a self-working card trick. The deck that Chris takes out from the box is specially arranged for this act. It contains a total of 52 cards, with 4 kings already placed on the table. Among the remaining cards, after 9 blank cards, ace and queen cards of the same suit are placed at 10th and 11th positions simultaneously. Then, again, 9 blank cards, followed by ace and queen. This pattern repeats until the bottom 4 cards, on which Master of the Mind is written. Showing this deck, Chris says that the queen cards could be anywhere in this deck, which Penn and Teller will pull out. Then Chris starts the countdown of the cards, and Penn says, stop at 4. After this, Chris places the first, second, third card here, and 4th card on top of the king. And as you can see, the card that automatically lands on top of the king is the queen card. Also, the top card here is the ace card. Similarly, Chris counts again, and this time Penn says, "Stop" at 9. After this, Chris places the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth cards here and the ninth card on top of the king. And as you can see, the ace card automatically lands here, and the queen card lands on top of the king. Now it's Teller's turn, and Teller says, "Stop" at 9. Chris places the ninth card here and all the cards before it here. And again, you can see that the ace and queen cards automatically land here. One last time, Teller says, "Stop" at 2, and Chris places the first card here and the second card on top of the king, and automatically, the ace card lands here and the queen card lands on top of the king. In the end, as he reveals, it surprises everyone. As you can see, the remaining 4 cards are the ones with Master of the Mind written on them, and all the remaining cards here are blank cards, which again surprises everyone. For this magic act, Dustin invites Judge Howie onto the stage and then spreads a card deck on the table to show everyone that it is a normal card deck. Dustin then takes back the cards into his hands and shows Howie a book placed on the table, saying that he will read it in just a moment. But before that, Dustin takes a large plastic container and puts all the playing cards he's holding into it. He puts a lid on the container and shakes it to mix the cards inside well. Not only that, he also hands the container to Howie and asks him to mix the cards well too. Now, Dustin asks Howie to turn over all the cards inside the container on the table. Dustin now spreads the cards on the table nicely. There are some cards facing up and some facing down. Dustin says it looks like the cards are randomly spread, but in reality, everything has happened just as he wanted. Now Dustin opens the first page of the book placed on the table and asks Howie to read it. It says, in the AGT quarterfinals, Howie shuffled the card deck like a toddler, and in the end, exactly 21 cards are facing up. When Dustin counts the face-up cards spread on the table, there are indeed exactly 21 cards facing up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cards.
Dustin says it might be a coincidence. After this, he opens the second page of the book and asks Howie to read it. On this page, the prediction is written that out of all the face-up cards, 10 cards were black. When Dustin counts the black cards, there are indeed 10 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miss one? Oh, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Dustin says this could also be a coincidence, so let's read the next page. On this page, it is written that out of those 10 black cards, 8 cards were clubs. And upon counting, there are actually 8 out of 10 cards that are clubs.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs.
The magic doesn't end here. Now Dustin asks Howie to read the last page, which states that the remaining face-up cards were all hearts. When Dustin looks at the remaining face-up cards on the table, they are all indeed hearts, but there is also 1 diamond suit card at the end.
2 of hearts, 10 of hearts, 6 of hearts, heart, 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 heart. Oh, wait, hold on, 10 of...
However, the prediction stated that all the cards would be hearts. Everyone thinks maybe there's a mistake in the magic. That's when Dustin brings his 2 twin children onto the stage, and there's something written on their t-shirts. It says, "Under the seat." Now, Dustin asks all the audience members to check under their seats. A paper emerges from under the audience's seats with the inscription, "Except for the 10 of diamonds," and indeed, that's what happened. All the remaining cards were hearts, leaving out only the 10 of diamonds card. This astonishes everyone, but Dustin still has one last reveal left. Dustin tears the pages of the book placed on the table and lays them out. He then asks Howie for the date of that day, which happens to be August 10, 2021. And the book had precisely the same prediction, 10/8/21. But how? How even after mixing everything so thoroughly, did the cards spread on the table exactly match the prediction in the book? Now, let's uncover the secret behind this magic. In this act, Magician Dustin first spreads a deck of cards on the table to show everyone that it is indeed a normal deck, and you'll be amazed to know that it truly is a regular deck. Now, the magician takes back these cards into his hands and then puts them into a container. But before putting the cards into this container, the magician cleverly did something that no one noticed. And it's precisely on this single action that the entire magic trick depends. In reality, after picking up the cards from the table, the magician shows everyone this book and says that he will read it in a while. And when everyone's attention is on this book, the magician cunningly switches the deck of cards he holds in his hand with another deck. Just after picking up the cards from the table, there's a camera cut, and the attention of the live audience watching is also directed towards the book. Meanwhile, the magician changes the deck of cards he holds in his hand with another deck. Now, the deck the magician holds is a special deck. This deck contains two types of cards. The first type is double-backed cards. In these cards, both the front and back sides have only a back design. Additionally, this deck contains some double-face cards. In these cards, both sides have faces. In this act, the magician uses a gimmick deck that consists of 31 double-backed cards, and the remaining 21 cards are double-faced cards. Among these 21 double-faced cards, 10 are black cards, out of which 8 are club suits. Out of the remaining 11, 10 are hearts, and 1 is the 10 of diamonds. Now, no matter how much or how you shuffle this deck, the result will remain the same. The double-backed cards will appear face down, and the double-faced cards will have their faces showing, giving the appearance that the cards have been placed face up. That's why when Howie mixes the cards in the container and then Dustin spreads them on the table after taking them out, there are 31 cards face down, which are actually the double-backed cards, as you now know. Now, as written on the first page of the book, there would be exactly 21 cards facing up. And here on the table, there are indeed 21 face-up cards because, as you now know, these are double-faced cards. On the second page of the book, it was written that out of these 21 face-up cards, there would be 10 black cards. And now you know that there were already 10 black cards in this deck, which the magician counts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miss one? Oh, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
On the third page of the book, it was written that out of these 10 black cards, there would be 8 club cards. And now you know that there were already 8 club cards in it, which the magician surprised everyone by counting.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs.
The last prediction in the book was that the remaining face-up cards would be hearts. And now you know that among the remaining 11 cards, 10 cards are double-faced hearts, and 1 was the 10 of diamonds. That's why when the magician counts, all the remaining cards turn out to be hearts, with 1 card being the 10 of diamonds. Everyone thinks maybe there was a mistake in the prediction. But that's when Dustin brings his twin children onto the stage, whose t-shirts read under the seat. And when the audience is asked to look under their seats, there is a note there that reads, "Except 10 of diamonds." And now you know that all of this was just to make the magic more interesting, and this deck was prepared beforehand according to these predictions. Similarly, to make the magic a little more interesting, Dustin tears the pages of the book and places them on the table, which represents the date of that day. And seeing all this, everyone is amazed, but now you know the secret behind this incredible magic. In this magic act, Amanda first takes a card deck in her hand and shuffles it in a certain way. Amanda then asks the show's host, Allison, to say stop anywhere. Allison says stop, and Amanda shows everyone the card, which happens to be the 8 of hearts. After showing the card to everyone, Amanda puts it back into the deck and shuffles it again. Now, Amanda says she can find out Allison's chosen card, but this would be quite a common magic trick. So, she decides to do something different. Amanda then fans out the cards and shows everyone, revealing that there's only 1 card face down in this card fan. Amanda then asks Allison about her chosen card, which is the 8 of hearts. Amanda says that this is indeed the card Allison selected, but she cannot take it out because the card in her hand is not real. It's just a printed piece. Not only that, when Amanda turns it over, the face-down card indeed turns out to be Allison's chosen 8 of hearts card. Now, Amanda explains how you can make such a printed card fan. But the next moment, the printed card fan in Amanda's hand transforms into a real card fan, from which Amanda easily takes out Allison's chosen 8 of Hearts card. Amanda then puts it back into the deck, shuffles the cards, and now the deck is thoroughly mixed, which Amanda shows to everyone. After this, Amanda asks everyone to pay close attention because she is about to perform a truly amazing magic trick. Amanda drops the cards on the table and then picks them up again. This time, when she shows the cards to everyone, it's remarkable that all the cards are arranged in perfect order. Not only that, but there is also one card face down among them. Amanda spreads the deck on the table, and the face down card turns out to be Allison's chosen 8 of Hearts. But the magic doesn't end there. After this, Amanda picks up the cards spread on the table, but astonishingly, there isn't a single card there. It's just a printed piece. Everyone is left amazed by this sight. But how? How does the card fan held by Amanda turn into a printed paper piece? How does only the chosen card by Allison end up face down in this piece? How does a random deck become perfectly arranged after so much shuffling? And how do the cards spread on the table transform into printed paper? Now, we're going to uncover the secret behind this amazing magic. In the beginning of this act, Amanda introduces herself while both of her hands are behind the table, as you can see. Afterwards, Amanda picks up the card deck placed on the table and shuffles it in a certain way, asking Allison to say stop. When Allison says stop, the card turns out to be the 8 of Hearts. Amanda shows it to everyone and then puts it back into the deck for another shuffle. Then, Amanda fans out the cards and shows them to everyone, revealing one card face down. But then Amanda reveals that the entire card fan is fake. In reality, at the beginning, both of Amanda's hands were behind the table, and when she lifts her hand to pick up the cards from the table, she already holds the printed piece in her hand. This is why she angles her hand in such a way that the hidden printed piece remains unseen. Now, Amanda continues shuffling the cards. After Allison chooses a card, when Amanda creates a fan from the real cards and shows it to the audience, the printed card fan she originally held in her hand is displayed in front, while she gathers the real card fan and puts it back behind the table. In this way, Amanda astounds everyone by displaying the printed piece instead of a real deck. Now the question arises, how was the 8 of Hearts card placed face down in this printed piece? How did Amanda know that Allison would choose this card during the show? Actually, if you noticed, when Amanda has Allison choose a card from the deck, she doesn't show it openly to everyone. In reality, all the cards in this deck except for the top card are the 8 of Hearts. This makes Amanda's job easier, and now she knows that whenever Allison says stop, the card will be the 8 of Hearts. Accordingly, Amanda had already prepared this printed piece and other setups in advance. Now, Amanda shows everyone how she made this printed piece. But right after that, the printed piece held in her hand transforms into a real card fan. You must have understood this part. Using this sheet, Amanda hides her left hand from the audience and places the printed piece behind the table. Then she retrieves the real card fan already prepared there and holds it in her left hand. Afterward, Amanda places the 8 of Hearts card straight into this fan and then shuffles it before showing it to everyone. Here, the deck is thoroughly mixed. After that, Amanda drops the deck onto the table and then picks it up again to show everyone. Surprisingly, the entire deck arranges itself. In reality, the card fan Amanda picks up from behind the table isn't a normal card deck. Instead, each card is split into 2 parts, one side with any random number and suit, and the other side pre-arranged in perfect order. Here, Amanda performs a false shuffle, showing everyone that the cards have been mixed well. A false shuffle is a fantastic shuffling technique where it appears to the onlooker that the cards are being shuffled, but the magician does it in a way that the order of the cards remains unchanged even after shuffling. After performing the false shuffle, Amanda cautiously shows everyone a portion of the cards with random numbers to convince them that the cards have indeed been mixed well. After that, if you pay attention, you'll notice that Amanda then rotates the deck. After doing this, she shows everyone the other portion of the cards, which was in perfect order, astonishing everyone. In between, there is one card face down, and Amanda spreads the cards on the table and reveals the face down card, which turns out to be Allison's chosen 8 of hearts. And finally, at the end, even the cards spread on the table transform into a printed paper. In reality, when Amanda drops the cards on the table after shuffling them, if you observe closely, Amanda's right hand is behind the table, where she picks up a fake card ribbon. These cards are interconnected and can be opened and closed. Amanda holds this ribbon in her right hand and then places it over the deck on the table before lifting the deck in her hand. Afterward, Amanda shows everyone that the cards have arranged themselves in the correct order, and now you know that the fake card ribbon is also in her hand at the back. Then, she is about to spread the cards on the table, and now the fake card ribbon is down here, which Amanda opens on the table. She holds all the real cards in her hand and cleverly places them behind the table. After spreading this ribbon, you can see the remaining real cards in Amanda's hand, which she places behind the table. The 8 of Hearts card was already placed in the pocket of this ribbon, which Amanda reveals. Then, she also picks up this ribbon to show everyone, creating the illusion that the cards have magically transformed into printed piece. In this magic act, magician Bishnu Prasad approaches the judges of the show and gives each of the 3 judges something. Bishnu gives Judge Malika a box, gives Judge Karan a marker and paper, and gives Judge Kiran an envelope. Then, magician Bishnu takes a card deck in his hand and lets the cards fall from top to bottom, asking Judge Karan to say stop whenever he wants. When Judge Karan says stop, Bishnu shows everyone the card that is stopped at, which happens to be the 4 of clubs. After this, Bishnu asks Judge Kiran to open the envelope that was given to her at the beginning. Kiran opens the envelope and inside, she finds the exact same card, the 4 of clubs. In the next act, magician Bishnu asks someone from the audience to give him a note. A man hands him a 200 rupee note. Bishnu then asks Judge Karan to write down the serial number of the note on a piece of paper. After noting down the serial number, Bishnu announces that he will double the money. He folds the note, and in the next moment, when he unfolds it, instead of the note, there's a white paper in his hand with the word double written on it. And just like that, Bishnu has doubled the note. But where did the 200 rupee note go? After this, Bishnu asks Judge Malika to open the box that was given to her at the beginning. Inside that box, there's another box, and when Malika opens it, there's an orange inside. Now, Bishnu instructs Malika to cut the orange in the middle. Malika does exactly that, but as soon as the orange is cut, everyone is amazed because a 200 rupee note emerges from inside it. Not only that, but when the serial number of that note, which is unique to every note, is matched with the serial number written by Karan, it perfectly matches. The magician doesn't stop here. Now, for his third act, Bishnu calls Judge Malika to him and gives her a disposable glass. Then, Bishnu pours fruity into the glass and asks Malika to hold the glass above her head. Now, Bishnu asks Malika to spin around twice, and then tells her to do something that makes Malika nervous. Bishnu now instructs Malika to flip the glass filled with juice onto her head. Initially, Malika refuses to do so, but later, upon the magician's insistence, she does it. And everyone is astonished because the glass is completely empty, and not a single drop of juice falls out when it is flipped. But how? How is Karan's selected card already present in the envelope? How does a 200 rupee note transform into paper and then end up inside the orange? And how does a glass filled with juice suddenly become empty right before our eyes? Now, we will uncover the secrets behind these astonishing magic acts. In this magic act, Bishnu initially gives each of the 3 judges an item and then begins his act. Bishnu lets playing cards fall from top to bottom and asks Judge Karan to say stop whenever he wants. Wherever Karan says stop, it turns out to be the 4 of clubs. And when Kiran opens the envelope given to her, it contains the same card, the 4 of clubs. Here, Bishnu didn't make any prediction. Those of our regular viewers who are familiar with magic tricks may have already understood this simple trick, but for those who haven't, let me explain. In reality, A 4 of clubs card was already placed in the envelope beforehand, and all the magician had to do was have Karan select that particular card. For this, the magician utilizes the dribble force selection technique, and the card deck you see in the magician's hand is a normal card deck, but the 4 of clubs card in it is slightly larger than the other cards. Now, the magician knows exactly where that card is in the deck, and when dropping the cards, as Judge Karan says stop, Bishnu drops all the cards below the 4 of clubs, then proceeds to show Karan and everyone the 4 of clubs card, making it appear as if it were Karan's free choice. But now you know that the magician has orchestrated the selection of the 4 of clubs. And in this way, because the 4 of clubs card was already placed in the envelope, everyone is amazed when they see it. Now, let's move on to the next act, where the magician asks for a note from the audience. He asks Karan to write down the serial number of this note. Now, the magician shows everyone this note very clearly and then folds it. But when he opens it again, the note has transformed into paper. In reality, the magician had this paper concealed in his hand from the beginning, which he had been holding behind the note. Magician demonstrates to everyone that only this note is in his hand and then proceeds to fold it. And then he flips it over, causing the folded note to now be at the back and the paper to be at the front. Magician then opens it, and it appears as if the note has transformed into paper. But the magic doesn't end there. Now, Bishnu asks Judge Malaika to open the box placed on the table. From the box emerges an orange, which Bishnu asks Malaika to cut. Upon cutting the orange, a 200 rupee note is found inside. And when its serial number is matched with the one Karan wrote, it perfectly matches. In reality, the note doesn't magically appear inside the orange. Instead, in this act, a person planted in the audience hands the magician this fake 200 rupee note when the magician asks for a note from the audience, which is actually a copy of the same note that the magician had previously planted in the orange. This way, when Karan's serial number matches the serial number of the genuine note, it seems as if the note has magically emerged from the orange. Now let's move on to Magician Bishnu's third act, where he calls Judge Malaika to him and gives her a disposable glass. Bishnu then pours juice into this glass and asks Malaika to hold it above her head. He then instructs her to spin around twice. After this, Bishnu asks Malaika to flip the glass filled with juice onto her head. But the surprising thing is that after flipping the glass, not a single drop of juice falls out. It's as if there was never any juice in it. In reality, this is the wonder of slush powder, also known as magic snow or instant snow. Slush powder is a super absorbent polymer. It's the same powder used in disposable diapers, which is why liquid doesn't spill out of diapers, it gets absorbed inside. Similarly, in this glass, there's slush powder already present, which is why, if you notice, Bishnu gives it to Malaika at a certain height so that she can't see what's inside. After that, Bishnu pours juice into the glass, and as you know, slush powder turns the liquid into a solid within seconds. Additionally, it expands slightly, causing it to adhere well to the glass. When Malaika flips the glass onto her head, nothing spills out. If we listen closely to what Malaika says next, she mentions that nothing spilt out from the glass, but it felt heavy. Now you know why nothing spilt out and why the glass felt heavy. Immediately after completing the act, Bishnu swiftly takes the glass from Malaika's hand and doesn't give anyone the chance to see what's inside. This way, Bishnu astounds everyone with his amazing acts. We put in a lot of effort to bring you these amazing magic reveals, so don't forget to like the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos.